Alright, hello mga students. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening sa inyong lahat. Let's have a detailed or comprehensive audit case problem focused on account classification. So, ito po medyo straightforward. We will be provided with a list of items that we will have to classify. Since our focus here is the audit of non-current operating assets. So ganun ko na lamang po ito ni-label, because it can cover property and equipment under IAS 16, intangible assets under IAS 38, and investment properties under IAS 40. So, audit of non-current operating assets na lamang po ito. So let us consider what is presented in this case problem. Let us put ourselves in the perspective of the auditor. Kailangan po ng tulong ng accountant ni ABC Company because the accountant is a newly employed accountant. The nature of the business of ABC is that of a manufacturing firm. Now, since there are a lot of accounts in this company, and siguro medyo nangangapa pa, or sabihin na natin na medyo bago pa lamang na accountant, itong kanilang accountant. So, he asked the auditor for assistance and guidance. No? And therefore, let us help this accountant classify these items listed below. Okay, let us begin with item number 1. Land held for long-term capital appreciation in the amount of 10 million. How do we classify this? Is this under PAS 16 or IAS 16 PPE, IAS 38 intangible assets, or IAS 40 investment property? If the land is held for long-term capital appreciation, this should be accounted under IAS 40 investment property. Anyway, at the end of this assessment, at the end of this exercise, I will be providing a summary of items that are considered under IAS 16, under IAS 38, IAS 40, and in case they will have to be classified under IFRS 5, non-current assets held for sale. Okay? But for item number 1, this should be classified under IAS 40 investment property. Okay, number 2, land held for undecided future use. As per the accountant, ito raw pong land na ito ay hindi pa tiyak kung para saan ito gagamitin. If the entity is not yet sure what to use, it should be classified under IAS 40 investment property. Okay? For 20 million. How about number 3? Land held for sale. Okay. Please take note that the nature of ABC company is that of a manufacturing firm. Therefore, if an asset, in this case, a land, is held for sale, but this is not in the ordinary course of business, the land should be reclassified from IAS 16 PPE papunta po ng IFRS 5 non-current asset held for sale. Okay? So number 3, land held for sale will be reclassified under IFRS 5. Number 4, building list out under an operating list. The entity supplies security and maintenance services to the lessees. Okay. Kung meron pong spare building, available building si ABC Company, tapos pinaparentahan niya ito, list out. And then under an operating list, the 50 million should not become part of should not become part of IAS 16 PPE. It should be reclassified to investment property because the purpose is for rental and this is classified as under an operating lease. Now, as auditors, we have to make sure that the appropriate accounting entries have been made. Kasi kung sakali man na itong building na ito ay nananatili no under IAS 16 classification, dapat i-reclassify na natin ito. We should be proposing an adjusting entry, especially if the accountant is new or medyo hindi pa gamay yung mga account classification. How about number 5? Building list out under a finance lease. Class, this should be reclassified. No, this should be recognized in the books of ABC company because the building is listed out under a finance lease. If a land or building is listed out under a finance lease, no, take note, under a finance lease, not under an operating lease, we should recognize the building and recognize a finance lease receivable following the requirements of IFRS 16 leases. So, dapat po, i-recognize po natin itong 30 million and we will recognize a finance lease receivable, which can be, partly current and mostly non-current. Okay? Number 6, vacant building held to be leased out under an operating lease. Yan po, no? Under an operating lease, it should be classified under investment property, yung 5 million. Okay? Number 7, machinery leased out under an operating lease. Take note ha, this is a machinery class. Ang sakop lamang po ng investment property ay land and building. So even if this is held out under an operating lease, hindi po pwede na ika-classify ninyo yan under investment property. Mananatili po siya classified under IAS 16. Take note, no? Sa definition ng property, plant, and equipment under IAS 16, kasama po doon yung for rental to others. Okay? So, machinery list out under an operating list is classified under PPE rather than investment property. Okay? Kasi meron po tayong limitation sa investment property limited to land and building. Ito naman, the same with number 5. No, you have to recognize the machine. You have to recognize the machinery in the books of ABC company and recognize a finance lease receivable. Okay? Number 9, property held for use in the production or supply of goods and services. Yan yung business operations ni ABC company PPE under IAS 16. Property held for administrative purposes, PPE under IAS 16. Property held for sale. If ABC company is a real estate company, it should be classified under inventory. But it is not because the problem states that ABC company is a manufacturing firm. Therefore, this should be a non-current asset held for sale, applying the provisions of IFRS 5. Number 12, property held for future use as owner-occupied. Owner-occupied is administrative, yung use, IAS 16 PPE. The same with number 13, property held for future development, the purpose of which will be for as owner-occupied property, IAS 16 PPE. Property occupied by employees, PPE. Number 15, owner-occupied property awaiting disposal. For disposal po ito, non-current asset held for sale. Okay? Number 16, property that is being constructed or developed for use as investment property o given purpose in the future is for investment property, IAS 40. Number 17, existing investment property that is being redeveloped for continuing use as investment property, the IAS 40 investment property. Number 18, ito, no? Building held for administrative purposes and leased out under operating lease. Ang ating requirement no sa IAS 40 is kailangan nating paghiwalayin kung mapaghihiwalay natin sila. Pero kung hindi natin sila kayang paghiwalayin, ang classification will be kung aling ang significant. Okay? Kung majority or significant portion ay pang PPE, edi PPE. Or otherwise, kung kabaligtaran naman, edi pang IAS 40. But if you can identify which is which, halimbawa, in this case, no, meron tayong 10 million. 40% is for administrative purposes, edi 4 million will be categorized under IAS 16 and 6 million will be under IAS 40 investment property. Okay? Scroll down po tayo no, para magip natin yung other. Nasaan na tayo? Number 19 na tayo. Ano? Okay. Investment property. Baba lang natin ng konti. Ayan. Investment in a subsidiary company. This should be classified as different, no? Other than your IAS 16, IAS 38, IAS 40. Investment in a subsidiary company is another form of non-current asset accounted separately. Okay. Number 20, lease prepayment, 6 months rent paid in advance. This should be classified under current assets, no, prepayments. Number 21, cost of internally generated publishing title. Ang sabi ng IAS 38, internally generated intangible assets are not capitalized. Okay? Of course, no, let me clear that one. Okay? Kung sakali man na pumasok siya doon sa research and development at nasa development phase at naabot na po yung capitalization criteria, pwede. But internally generated publishing title will be charged to P&L. Okay? Cost incurred in the formation of corporation. Ito yung mga startup cost, mga organizational cost. Okay? That should be charged to P&L as well. The same with number 23, operating losses incurred in the startup of the business. Kaya nga, di ba, from the far side, yung halimbawa, sa PPE, yung acronym na DAX, hindi po siya directly attributable cost. Nandoon siya sa mga ini-expense. Ganon din sa number 24, they should be charged to P&L. Training cost incurred in startup operations. Assuming, ABC company is starting. Is in its first year of operations as well. Okay? So, this should be expensed. Bumili ng prangkisa, purchase of a franchise. Ito pong cost na ito should be under IAS 38, intangibles. Purchase, binili mo ito, hindi mo naman siya internally generated. Okay, goodwill, internally generated. Ang sabi natin, ang sabi sa atin ng standard, hindi ang sabi natin, we do not recognize goodwill, internally generated. So, in-expense po natin ito, charge to P&L. Cost of testing in search for product alternatives. Nasa research phase pa po yan. Expense, charge to P&L. Goodwill acquired in the purchase of a business. Ang sabi ng standard, ang sabi ng IAS 38, this should be accounted for separately. Kasi pakitandaan po, intangible assets are identifiable, non-monetary assets without physical substance. Goodwill is lacking with the identifiability criteria. Unidentifiable yung goodwill. So, we present it separately. Hindi po natin siya isasama as part of intangible assets. This should be accounted separately when you prepare your financial statements. Okay? We only acknowledge goodwill when it is acquired by way of business combination. Number 29, cost of purchasing a patent from an inventor. Yan po ay IAS 38, intangible assets. Legal cost incurred in securing a patent. Take note ha, when you apply for a patent sa Intellectual Property Office, you will incur costs na application, pagbabayad sa pag-aasikaso, no? So meron kang lawyer, yung mga legal counsel mo. So those are directly attributable cost and that can be capitalized in the in the account under patent. So IAS 38 na. Meanwhile, for number 31, cost of a successful legal suit to protect the patent. This is different from the legal cost incurred in securing a patent. Ito, whether successful or unsuccessful, this is charged to P&L because this is not value adding. Okay? Number 32, cost of conceptual formulation of possible product alternative. Research expense, expense charged to P&L. Cost of purchasing a copyright, yes, that is capitalized under IAS 38. R&D, research and development cost. If we cannot separate research and development cost ay in-expense natin. Pag mapaghiwalay natin, research cost ay in-expense, development cost ay hindi po automatic na capitalized. No. Pwedeng expense, pwedeng capitalized. Okay, number 35, long-term receivable. Definitely, this is another non-current asset. No? Receivable pero long-term, hindi non-current asset. Cost of purchasing a trademark. Ang daming binili ni ABC Company. This will form part of your intangible assets. Computer software for a computer-controlled machine. Take note that cannot operate without that specific software. This should be part of PPE. Ang sinabi sa atin ng standard for halimbawa, computer software, if the software cannot stand alone, okay, kailangan po ito doon sa computer. Okay, the computer cannot operate without that software. The cost of the computer software should be included as part of the PPE. The same with your operating system. Okay? Operating system is also part of PPE. So, if we are to sum them up, ayan, actually meron tayong summary dito sa kanan. Okay? Liliit nga lang, At meron din tayong mga notes dyan. Ayan. So, ganito yung magiging kahihinat na nila. Okay? So, ito yung mga items under IAS 16. Okay, PPE. Ito naman yung items under IAS 40, IAS 38, and others with the corresponding remarks. Alright? Now, moving on to the explanation, allow me to stop sharing this Excel file and share with you the PowerPoint that I prepared for this discussion. Okay. Ayan. So, for non-current operating asset, ito yung ating present kanina sa Excel file. Here are some of the gentle reminders. Beginning with PPE. Please take note that the definition of PPE ay held for use in the production, of course, tangible items. Okay, may physical substance used in the production or of supply or production or supply of goods or services. Take note, yung for rental to others and then for administrative purposes and expected to be used during more than one period. Okay? So, yan Therefore, ito po yung mga items na covered ng IAS 16. Sorry. Ito po yung mga hindi kino-cover ng IAS 16 because they are covered by another standard. So if an item of PP is classified as held for sale, IFRS 5 yan. Biological assets, meron tayong separate standard under IAS 41. Okay? Exploration and evaluation assets under IFRS 6. Yung ating mga wasting assets, mga natural resources. Mineral rights, mineral reserves, such as oil, gas, natural gas, and similar non-regenerative resources. Okay? Pero, yung mga items of PPE na ginagamit to maintain or to develop these assets ay under PAS 16. Okay? Ayan. Take note po ng mga to, no? Which is which? Kanina, no? Na-cover natin yan doon sa illustration. Land held for speculation, land held for an undetermined future use, investment property. Okay? Property held for sale in the ordinary course of business, if that is the nature of the business, that is considered as inventory, like in the case of real estate developers. Okay? Biological assets related to agricultural activities other than bearer plant, syempre, that is considered under IAS 41. Okay? Pero syempre, yung bearer plant, okay, is considered as item of property, plant, and equipment. So, meron tayong mga connections dyan. Okay? Major spare parts and long-lived standby equipment. That is considered as item of PPE. But minor spare parts and short-lived standard equipment, not under PPE. Okay? Ayan. Spare parts and servicing equipment usually carried as inventory and recognized in profit or loss unless it meets the definition of PPE. Take note po nito, na if the spare parts and servicing equipment can only be used in connection with an item of PPE, edi accounted yan as PPE. Parang yung ating mga computer software, yung mga operating system. Okay? Equipment held for environmental and safety reasons, but take note, no, while they do not directly increase the economic benefits of other existing assets, they might be necessary in obtaining future economic benefits from other assets. So they should be considered as part of PPE under IAS 16. Okay? Ayan. How about investment property? Let us revisit the definition of IP. Sabi natin, for investment property, land, building, or both, no? Land or building, land and building. Ang purpose is to earn rentals or for capital appreciation. That is why if the machinery is held to earn rental, it is not under IAS 40 but under IAS 16 because investment property is limited to land or building or both. Okay? So, examples of investment property, ayan po, yung actually na-mention na rin naman natin sa mga previous slides. Okay? Mention ko na lang or highlight ko na lang din yung number 3, lease out under one or more operating leases. Kaya nga, pag finance lease, IFRS 16 ang magko-cover nun and then you recognize the related asset. A building, sa number 4, vacant but to be held under one or more operating leases, or property that is being constructed or developed for future use as investment property, under investment property. But the following are not investment properties if the property is intended for sale under IAS 2, if it is owner-occupied under IAS 16, or for future use as owner-occupied, no? Property occupied by employees, syempre under IAS 16, whether or not the employees pay rent at market rates. Sometimes you will encounter problems, no? Property occupied by employees where they are paying at market rate. So whether or not the employees pay rent at market rate, no, they are considered under IAS 16. And of course, if the owner occupied property is awaiting disposal under IFRS 5, no? Property leased to another entity under a finance lease, IFRS 16. Okay? Now, for intangible assets, please take note of the definition, ha? Identifiable, non-monetary, without physical substance. Kaya nga, we separate yung accounting for goodwill, separate siya na line item kasi absent sa kanya yung identifiability criteria. Okay? Common examples natin for intangible assets, computer software, ito po, ito, patents, copyrights, even motion picture films, customer list, mortgage servicing rights, fishing licenses, import quotas, franchises, customer or supplier relationships, even customer loyalty, market share, and marketing rights as long as they are acquired. No? Kasi internally generated ay expense. Although, hindi po lahat ng mga nandirito sa dinescribe, ano no, ay ka-classify natin as intangible asset. Kung hindi po na-meet yung definition ng intangible asset, i-expense lang po natin when the expense is incurred. Okay? The scope of PFRS 5 or IFRS 5 on non-current asset held for sale, no, pakitandaan, kapag yung purpose na ng asset ay ibebenta na, okay, or i-dispose, even if that is originally non-current, it will now be reclassified under IFRS 5. Non-current asset held for sale, that will now become current classification. Okay? The classification, presentation, and measurement requirements in this IFRS applicable to a non-current asset also apply to a non-current asset that is classified as held for distribution to owners. So actually, the standard on IFRS 5 does not only limit yung purpose ng non-current asset as held for sale. Pwede rin po dyan if the non-current asset will be held for distribution to owners, acting in their capacity as owners. So parang return ng investments. Ganun. Alright, so that's it. Hanggang dyan lamang po yung ating discussions. Let me know if nakatulong po ito or if you have any questions or clarification. Maraming salamat. I will now end the recording.